Welcome to the Birth and Truth podcast, where our guests spill their unvarnished, honest, and naked truth.
This is the quarantine edition, and I'm Courtney Elaine.
And I'm your boy, Black Bluez.
Today, our special guest wants you to know that he is a father, an extreme basketball enthusiast, a farting machine, an animal lover, aka Dr. Doolittle, and he is my fiance.
Cheers to that, baby.
And he's my best friend's babe. Welcome, Devon Johnson, Sr.
How y'all doing, man? God bless y'all. Thank you for the invite. I've been waiting to come on here for a long time. I'm here, baby.
Good. You doing good, bro?
Yes, sir, man. Trying to make it through this quarantine, locking myself in the room every day, like LL.
I feel you. So here on Birth and Truth podcast, we claim our set. So the way we claim our set is we talk about how we're feeling in this moment right now. So, Courtney, what set you repping?
I am in a space of determination because the Rona was trying to get the best of us and keep us from being able to record this podcast, and we refuse to allow the devil to get the best of us. So, claim your set.
My set that I'm claiming is motivation, and that was already my set before the Rona tried to get us down. You know what I'm saying? So it actually fits with what you're saying. Motivation, because the haters need to get on the job. Need to get on the job. Motivation. Expeditiously.
I like that.
Expeditiously. He said he liked that. Don't condone that foolishness.
So, Devon, what set are you claiming?
Well, the set I'm claiming is my hometown, man, 414 Milwaukee all day. That's where I'm from, man. Got to rep my set.
Oh, so you set tripping in real life?
Hey, always said, well, that's a part of my truth, but we gonna get into that.
We not real life set tripping. We want to know, what are you feeling right now, brother? That's the set that you claim.
I'm feeling blessed to be alive.
Amen.
A couple of my family members, caught the corona, and one passed from the corona. So I'm just blessed to be here, taking care of my health and staying out of the way.
Most definitely. I'm praying for you and your family.
Yeah, my auntie died of it a couple of days ago, and I got a couple close friends who got it right now. And yeah, man, I'm just trying. I'm glad to be healthy, you know what I'm saying, and just staying out of the way, wearing my mask and washing my hands. Yep.
Yeah, we need to be washing our hands. Like, we should have. That's something that we should have been doing in the first place, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it costs all you have, get understanding. So this brings us to our Google education degree segment, where we tell what's the last thing we Googled, or like we like to say, the last thing we got our GED in. So, what was the last thing you Googled, Courtney?
Okay. I had one before we ran into this situation with recording this podcast. Because of that, my last thing that I Googled was Zoom, so that we could figure out how to continue to bring our podcast to our audience. But prior to that, the last thing I Googled was killer hornets.
Killer hornets or hornets?
Hornets.
The Japanese killer hornets.
I don't want to say them things as Japanese. I just feel like we blaming so much stuff.
Yeah.
On the Asian community. They just some hornets that'll murder you.
The Asian one, huh?
Yeah, I don't understand how, because remember the first question that I asked was, no, you asked where did they come from?
Right.
And it said overseas somewhere. And then we Googled it, it automatically said they came from Japan.
And so
And I
they
was
just
like,
had a
yeah.
flight.
They called
They
a
had
flight. They called a flight. First class to the US. Like I don't get it. I have no clue how they got here. I did not get my full GED in the topic because I got distracted. So I didn't continue researching. So I'll have to go back to that.
Right. So Devon, what's the last thing that you got your GED in?
Last thing I got my GED in is I'm a big news guy, so my last GED was checking my local hometown news, and you know, I like to keep up with what's going on in my city, and I was looking up a story to where a guy killed a family of 4 kids, and the mother. So the mother and 4 kids got killed in Milwaukee. Yeah.
Did he kill himself also?
No, he's in jail right now. He didn't kill himself, but he killed a family of it was 4 kids and a mother, adult.
I don't respect that. If you're gonna be killing people, then man, kill yourself too. You know what I'm saying? You didn't kill
Yeah,
all.
man. It's like I said, man, it's a rough place, man. But yeah, that's the last thing I got my GED, and I always try to, you know, keep up with my local news to make sure, you know, my peoples are safe, and hopefully I don't read something about somebody I know, you know, being very popular in my city. I have to, yeah, man, you know, hey, man. But yeah, that's what I got my GED in is news in my city.
Cool. So I got my GED in what is Indian giving? Like, where did that come from? Did we say you're an Indian giver? And so I looked that up because I figured that it was had to be offensive to say. So I looked it up, and apparently it's like a misunderstanding between the white people when they got over here and how Indians or Native Americans, I'm sorry, how Native Americans barter, and they give you something for you to give them something back. And if you don't give them something back, they take their stuff back.
Right.
And another variation of it was if they gift you something and you don't use that gift, then they take it from you and give it to someone who will use it. So, but that term is it's a derogatory term that's being thrown around and used as like it's just common, but that's where it comes from.
So, that's pretty good Google research right there.
Got my GED.
Got your GED.
Got it, JJ.
Got your GED. All right. So sometimes words come out because they're. Wait, hold up. I got to do it. I got to do it. It's different. Sometimes words come out jumbled because they were stuffed into our mouth. That quote by Black Bluez himself.
Oh,
he's a poet. Y'all already know that. Just in case y'all didn't know, he is a poet. Yes.
One of the best, man. One of the best, man. You know, I used to, you know, do my poetry back in the day. But, you know, I am legend.
He is one of the best in the city. So that brings us to our country word of the day.
Mm-hmm.
In this segment, we explore how country Black folk have made the English language their own. So our country word for today is a weekamo.
A weekamo.
A week.
In English it's a week or more. The meaning could be, it has been at least a week. You see how, I broke that one down real proper, like, it has been at least a week. So let's try to use a week or more in a sentence. Do you want me to go first?
I can go first. Get mine out the way.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be looking on my account for my check in a week a month. Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm waiting on my check, baby.
I can use a week or more. Some of y'all nasty tails is sitting on that sofa and ain't took no shower in a week or more.
Just nasty, just nasty. Just filthy. Filthy, just running around smelling like some fucking barunkis.
Smelling like butt crack.
Oh, yes.
Just stinking up the place. Okay, let's see. So we have officially been on quarantine for at least a week or more.
Oh.
Way more than a week or more.
Oh, yeah. That was pretty good, babe.
Right, 2 months.
Yeah. Too long now. It's just been too long. Even
every time you do something good, I'm going to go like this. That's a dude from Good Times, bitch.
I heard my grandmother say a week or more. And when she said it, I automatically knew what it meant. Like, it was like it wasn't something out of the ordinary. And I remember somebody was like, have you seen Rufus? And she's like, no, I ain't seen him in a week or more. And it makes so much sense to me that I started to think about it. And I'm like, that's just an old country word of the day, a week or more.
Absolutely.
Have y'all ever heard anybody else use that word or that time?
No, sir. I'm a city boy, so I didn't hear this stuff until I got down here, man. This is all new to me.
I've heard it, of course. I just can't pinpoint who said it, but my family's straight out the country, especially my mama's side of the family. So
I ain't get into it.
One of them, maybe my papa or my grandmother.
Or Monica.
Monica Show probably say it.
We're
We're gonna tag Monica in this video.
Oh, we gotta tag her.
That's my friend.
Shout out to Monica though.
That's
right.
Serious.
Ain't more loud than my TT. Shout out TT.
Ain't Tangy. So we have a new segment on Birth and Truth podcast, and it's called Who Said That?
Who said that?
Who said that? This segment is kind of an extension. It's like kind of an extension of Country Word of the Day, because we discuss sayings that old sayings and try to figure out where they originated. Right? So one of them, have y'all ever heard somebody say, "You showing your true colors"?
All the time.
Have you ever wondered where that comes from?
Well,
like it's
that comes from somebody's mama, man.
Right. It sounds like it makes sense when we hear showing your true colors, but what it actually is the pirates would see like another ship that they want to take captive, and one thing that they would do was show their flags to let them know if they are an enemy or not. So some of the pirates would show the flag like they are with them, and when they get too close to get away, they switch it and show their true color. Ha ha! You thought I was this, but this is me for real. And so
you on to something, brother.
That's where showing your true colors came from.
That boy was in the encyclopedia earlier. I see you.
That is so sneaky and underhanded. Yeah.
That's messed up. Like once I get to a point where I trust you, like you got my trust, then I snatch it away and show you my true colors. And that's exactly what it is in real life.
Right. Yeah.
As soon as you think somebody your friend, you know what I'm saying? How much they say you owe them?
$34. Was it $36 or $34?
It was $36.
$36.
Was it any change on it?
Oh no, there was no change. I need change back because I gave
change needs to be given back $4. So now, after you didn't call me out and try to tell me that I owe you $36, I gave you $40. How about that? Now give me back my $4.
Right. Vince, pay me nice.
Ooh, you sound like Pam Grier, baby.
What's another one though?
So another one is to feed someone with a long-handled spoon. That's what Miss V say.
Okay.
That's where Vincent got that. He got that from his mom. And means to deal with someone with kindness and respect, but do not let them get too close to you. So that means you got to keep them at a distance, but you still deal with them. And the majority of the time, you're really dealing with them because for some reason they have to be in your life. So a lot of times it could be a family member that you don't really, rock with. You don't really feel them that very much, but you have to be around that person. So you just give them a little bit, but don't give them too much. You don't want them
to. The lease ain't up yet, So let's see. Another one is straight from the horse's mouth. You ever heard somebody say that? You can get it.
Yeah, it's a lot of horses' mouths that come from.
So when they say get something straight from the horse's mouth, it's because back in the day, the person who sold the horses would lie about the horse's age. They try to make the horse seem like it's younger than it is, so you would want to buy it. But the horse, you can look at a horse's mouth and can tell his age by his teeth. So the truth is gonna come from looking in the horse's mouth. So that's how that translates. Get it straight out the horse's mouth.
I love that one. Yeah. I love that one because that's one I really didn't know. But you hear that all the time, and it's like to actually know the meaning, because it's a lot of stuff we say and do not know the real meaning to it at all. Like, okay, let's go to this next one. This is our final one. Yeah. Beating around the bush. So this is.
Hey.
What do you think it is, Devon? What do you think it means?
I don't know, man. It could mean many things. Bad or good.
Oh my God. Boy, hush.
Hey, man.
I don't know.
Hey, man, this is birth of the truth, brother. You gonna get the truth from me.
I don't know if that's
my mind after he said that, I'm like, I don't want to go. I don't want to think of it.
I have no clue. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my mind to travel to Interstate 45. So I'm gonna stay out of this one.
We're gonna bring it on back down to Sticky Buns, Sticky Buns Lane, and we're gonna stay there. What it means is to deal with someone, or no, to when hunting birds, some people will beat around the bush to drive them out into the open. Other people would then catch the bird. I won't beat around the bush came to mean I will go straight to the point without any delay. So
look at babe. She was doing some studying. No wonder when I was gone, she was studying. I feel you, baby.
Oh my God.
But that really describes certain people's personality, huh? Because you have certain people who would beat around the bush to get them to come out, but then you have certain people who gonna go straight in there and say no.
Yeah.
Like you, brother.
Yeah.
Which one? Do I beat around the bush?
No, you go straight in it like me.
I don't
Don't
know.
cut no corners, baby.
I don't know. I think I beat around the bush a little bit.
I don't be around nothing. Oh, hey, is this filtered?
You want to know if you can cuss?
Yes.
Jesus is watching.
Hey, but Jesus know me. I'm a work in progress, my brother.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
But he say be progressive.
Hey, but guess what? I ain't cussed yet.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord.
We have made it to our Spill the Truth segment of our podcast. Great truth are portions of the soul of a man. That's a quote by James Russell Lowell. All right, so shut up, Courtney. So, we have an oath for you, and an oath. You heard my countryness? An oath.
We got an oath.
We have an oath that we like our guests to take. So repeat after me, all right? Even if my truth offends the people that I love.
Even if my truth affects the people that I love.
Offends, but
okay. Offends. I'm sorry.
I promise to spill the whole truth.
I promise to spill the whole truth.
The buck-tooth truth.
The buck-tooth truth.
And nothing but the truth.
And nothing but the truth.
Because this is how it showed up in my life.
Because this is how we do. No, I'm just saying. Because this is how it showed up in my life.
You goofy, dude. Okay, so we asked you to tell us 3 words that would describe your past. And the words you chose were bully, which is a quarrelsome, overbearing person who habitually badgers and intimidates smaller or weaker people. Lonely, affected with characterized by or causing a depressing feeling of being alone or lonesome. And suicidal, which is preparing to, involving, or suggesting suicide, or foolishly or rashly dangerous.
Girl, where you get them definitions from? Out the Webster Dictionary or the
Webster. It was Webster. Webster. Okay, so with that being said, insecurity, feeling powerless, the need to control, and being rewarded for behaviors that are considered, being rewarded for these types of behaviors is considered to be some of the top reasons as to why someone would become a bully. What would you say led you to be a bully?
Well, what led me to being a bully is where I come from. You have to be tough or you won't make it. So when I was younger, me, my older brother, like I said, me and my older brother, we grew up close. So I used to, have semi-nice things. I don't want to say like the greatest things, but semi-nice thing like bikes. Me and Derek, that's my older brother's name. He had a bike, I had a bike. So the neighborhood kids would, see me ride my bike, and they would all swarm me to try to steal my bike. So, that was the norm where I'm from. So when that happened to me, when they stole my bike, you know what I mean? I was like, this can't happen to me. I'm a person that ain't never been scared of nothing. So, so when that happened to me, then my older brother was tough on me as well. So me and him would get into it as far as, do crazy stuff. I bust his head, he'll bust my head. Just little small stuff, little mischievous stuff. So that pretty much led me into being like tough And then, you know, like I said, sometimes it could be a persona, but like in my case, like I was really tough. You know what I'm saying? But I was built up to be tough. You know what I'm saying?
Because of those things happening to you.
Yeah.
It was
So
so
yeah,
your mindset was kind of like either they'll keep doing this to me and I just fall for it, or I'll stand up for myself.
right. Because I grew up in the projects. So, you know, like I said, it was a lot of tough people in my neighborhood. You know what I'm
But why do
saying?
you think, if that was the reason that you became that way, why do you think instead of just becoming tough, why do you think that you resorted to actually doing what was done to you rather than just saying, I'm just going to tough it up and I'm not going to allow anyone to do this to me, but not go and do it to someone else? Like, why do you think you went into that direction?
That's a good question. I mean, I just feel like I could have did it that way, but you know, circumstances, you know, as far as insecurities, uh,
Could have
I mean,
been could have been get them before they get me. Because if I didn't bully them, if I don't bully them, then they gonna think they can bully me.
yeah, basically they're gonna think I'm soft, and you know, I mean, did I want to be that way? No, because you know, I was just a fun-loving, goofy kid, but you know, I used to see my friends, you know, jump people and things of that nature. So, you know, me hanging with, I mean, you know, in the hood, you got cliques. So, you know, when you see people jumping people, when you young, you don't know nothing. You like, I want to jump in too. So, you know, either you gonna jump in or you gonna get beat up. Either or.
All right. So you felt like you were pretty much just following what your environment was. Cause see, somebody tried to bully me because I've always been smaller than everybody else, and they always tried to bully me. But my thing was, I'm slick. Like I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna talk to you crazy in front of everybody, and then it just gets to the point where you don't want to come for me no more. So that's how I got to a point where I wasn't bullied. But people tried it. They looked like, oh, I can bully him. So
Yeah.
my question to you would be, because I don't know, because I've never been on that side of it. How did it feel to be a bully? Like, how did that make you feel?
I mean, I mean, it was kind of glorifying, you know, in a sense, for the simple fact that, you know, um, people won't mess with you. You know what I mean? They'll be like, oh, you don't want to mess with Devon. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't want to mess with so and so because he got them hands, or you know, or he got, you know what I mean? So, I mean, like I said, man, it was just one of those things where it was just like environmental stuff, man. You know,
Right.
if I didn't be like that, I don't even think I would be here today. And that's just me being honest. You know, I feel like if I didn't do that, I probably would be, I wouldn't even be here. If I didn't toughen up, if I didn't have tough skin, if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be here.
So it was a survival technique.
Survival, yeah.
And now as an adult, how do you feel about bullies?
Um, I feel like, you know what I mean. Like you don't have to, you don't necessarily have to be a bully. There's ways, you know, around things, you know. But you know, I just feel like you have to defend yourself in a sense, man, because in the world we live in today, you know, people gonna try you. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try you. You know, you could be like the guy in class who answers all the questions and all that stuff. You that guy that, you know, see somebody walk down the hall and you nudge and get out the way because you know what I'm saying? But in this, and I'm what I'm gonna teach, you know what I mean? We'll get to that in a little bit, but you know, I just feel like you have to defend yourself in some sense, man. because a lot of these kids is killing themselves, man, because of the bullying. You know what I mean? Like you have to defend yourself, and I feel like if a majority of those people could defend themselves, a lot of the statistics wouldn't be so high for death. And that's just my personal opinion on it. You know what I mean? Instead of just accepting it and taking it and not doing something about it,
Right.
you know, that's just my opinion on it. You have to defend yourself.
So with that being said, you know, one of your facts is that you are a father.
Yes.
And so you have a 6-year-old son. And from the perspective of someone who was a bully, how do you look at it now? Like if someone was to be doing that to DJ, how would you expect for him to react to it? Because as a father, you can't go and kick a 6-year-old's behind. You understand what I'm saying?
You know, in this day and age, I'm sorry, but in this day and age, they have self-defense, they have karate classes, they have things of that nature. Back, you know, we couldn't afford that back in the day, so we had to do what's the next best, and that's just, you know, box it out. But you know, I wouldn't say I was the toughest, roughest, meanest, greenest dude in the world, but at the end of the day, I've never been bullied. You know, they had things called 6th grade kill day, 8th grade kill day, freshman kill day. Never was a part of that. Never was a part of that. But there's reasonings, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, middle school, man, my mom had to come to the school multiple times, you know, for.
Because the audience is going to want to know. We're going to need for you to explain what kill day is.
Oh, kill day. Oh, kill day is when, okay, so 6th grade kill day. Okay, there's 6th grade, 8th grade, and freshman kill day. Okay, so 6th grade kill day is when you see that guy, a 6th grader, he may look like the weakest link, or 8th grader or the 9th grader, it may look like the weakest link, and then you get a mob of dudes try to jump you. Like it could be 10 people, it could be 20 people. They'll chase you around the school, you know, and you know they'll jump you. That's what they call freshman kill day, or 6th grade kill day, or 8th grade kill day. They pick like a week, like, oh, they'll pick a random person, like, oh, let's be, excuse my language, let's be his ass, and then they'll mob and chase you around the school until they get you, and they'll jump you.
But why come forward?
Say that again.
Why come forward?
Ignorant.
Like,
oh, you said why? Oh, why? Oh,
Yeah.
well, that's Milwaukee public schools, man. I mean, like I said, man, everywhere is different. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, that's just how Milwaukee is, man.
Ignorance.
You know, my sister never let me get bullied, because anytime anybody was saying something just crazy to me, and I tell her, you know, Devon said so-and-so, my sister was gangster. Soon as she seen them, excuse me, come here, what was that you had said? They be like, nothing.
That's how most people do. They freeze up. But you know, I don't condone bullying. I don't like to talk about it too much. But you know, I just wanted to explain that, you know, you know, in my time and where I grew up, you had to be tough in some sense. You couldn't be no soft person. You know what I'm saying? Even when teenager to, you know, even now, you know what I mean? Like we older now. I'm older now, so I don't be in all that stuff that I used to be in. You know what I mean? I'm more chill now, but I do, you know, get my days where I be running to swing them things. But you know, it happens. No one's perfect, guys.
Wow. It's on you, boo.
It's on.
It's on you. What you want to do?
So, just thinking about how you grew up in the house, I want to know, how many siblings did you have, that grew up in the house with you?
Just me and my older brother Derek. He's 40.
And just covering the bullying aspect, was some of that somehow passed down from either him bullying you or maybe one of your parents bullying you that made you say, this is the way that it has to be?
Well, okay. Let me set up for this one. Well, my brother was, we grew up close, so we never really had no arguments and stuff like that. But, he did, rough me up, but it was like a training. You know what I mean? We did crazy stuff to each other though. You know what I'm saying? And my mom, me being, in a sense, I wouldn't say a bad kid, but just, goofy, just in school, just clowning and stuff, she disciplined me, you know what I mean? A lot of whoopings, you know what I'm saying? A lot of whoopings. So
real quick, I want to ask, kind of like what Courtney touched on earlier, if someone was to bully DJ, how would you feel? But I want to know if DJ was to bully someone, how would that make you feel?
That's a good question too. I would feel like, in this day and age, it's I don't even know how I could. I mean, if he bullies somebody, I'll have a conversation with him. Like, there's ways that you can go about not bullying, you know what I'm saying? But, my son's situation is a little bit different, you know what I mean? And I'll touch on that whenever, but, he's a different type of kid. So, if he bully or somebody try to bully him, I honestly, I don't know. I would just still be a father at the end of the day. I don't, I can't touch the kid, but I can get to their parents. You know what I'm saying? Or
you're not about to fight their parents.
Huh?
You're not about to fight them parents.
No. I mean, get to their parents and have a conversation with them. But if they want to take it there, then that's different. But I'm more rational now, man. I'm just a rational person now. I'll talk to people now, But if DJ bully, man, he's just too nice of a kid, man. I just don't see him bullying nobody.
But when you think about yourself, one of the things that you just said about yourself earlier was you were an innocent and goofy little kid, and people were bullying you, which put you in a predicament to where you had to be tough, and you had to say, I'm gonna get them before they get me. So despite where you grew up, if you think about it, your son can be placed in the same predicament, whether it be in the suburbs, whether it be in the projects, and you say that there are certain things that, certain ways that he can get around not putting himself in the predicament to where he becomes a bully. What do you think some of those things are? Like, what are some of the things that he could do that would, be able to keep him from going in that direction?
Oh, man. God, prayer. What's another one?
I know, like, my mom always taught me to kind of think before I react to something. Mm-hmm. So I know that's the thing I try to do, but I am my mama's child.
Yeah.
So and then with DJ, it's two different bloodlines. So it's like, man, y'all got me thinking. But man, I think DJ gonna be all right, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't right now, he ain't growing up how I grew up. So, I'm showing him more different. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving him more experiences than I've got.
Would you say that without even really knowing it unconsciously, you're putting him, you're operating in a way to where you can put him in a predicament to where he doesn't even have to be in that space.
Exactly.
Like, you know, like,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. Like that's why, you know, I'm real firm on, you know, doing more with my kid than I got. Give him more attention than I got, or support him in ways that I didn't get supported. And I think that's, and I think a lot of the bullying or me lashing out, you know, a lot of anger built in, and I just wanted to take it out on something.
Right. Just for kicks and giggles now. Because you know how I say my mama taught me to think before I react. But my mama don't think before she reacts. Sometimes she pop off. And I got that pop off too. Do you sometimes see that in your son where you look and be like, oh Lord, like if I let him get there, he gonna be a monster with it.
You know what, man? Junior is like a chip off the old block, and that's the crazy part. Like the farting, the man, the goofiness. You know what I'm saying? It's just like looking at me all over again. You know what I'm saying? How his mannerisms and how, you know, how sweet he is. That's how I was. You know what I'm saying? But
I can agree with that because one thing about Devon for sure is it's hard for him to keep quiet about something. And I noticed that DJ, you tell DJ to do something, if he ain't feeling it in his spirit, he gonna have something to say about it. You know, like if you said earlier today, we having ice cream, and then all of a sudden we done finished our dinner and you ain't getting ready to get the ice cream. He like, but what about the ice cream? Or if you say go to bed and he be like, no. You said we were supposed to have ice cream before bed. You know, we didn't already ate dinner. Where's the dessert? You know what I'm saying? So I'm noticing that he is constantly doing that, and you have to stay on about it because it's like if you let him consistently talk back like that, it could get out of hand. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, DJ, man, he you know, like I said, it's two different bloodlines. You know, he got Creole, New Orleans blood, and then he got Milwaukee blood. So it's gotta, you know, he gonna be something, man.
Bout it. No limit soldier.
He definitely gonna be body for sure.
No limit soldier.
Yeah, definitely. He from the Milnoya. That's where he from, the Milnoya.
Don't know you.
So you talked about growing up in the house with your brother. What was your relationship like with your parents?
Well, you know, I pretty much got like just really my mom was my mom and my dad. So when I was a kid, after I was born, maybe a few months later, my dad was out of there. So everything that I think, you know, I'm glad my mama raised me. I'm glad, you know, because I just feel like if my mom did raise me, I think I probably would be dead or in jail. You know what I'm saying? Because she taught me tough love, but she gave me that nurturing at the same time. You know what I'm saying? You know, get a whooping, pow, 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 and then come in the room after she whooped me and be like, you know, I do this because I love you, you know, and give me that, you know, that nurturing after she know, like, dang, she felt bad. So, you know, I think my relationship will always be better with my mom than my pops.
We always say that growing up, being a product of a single mother household. We always say my mama was my mama and my daddy. And I grew up to believe, like, yeah, my mama and my daddy, but no, my mama did a great job as a mother. And my mama did the best and went above and beyond. She was super mom 2.0 squared, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't realize till I got older that there were some things that I actually needed my father to be there for me. And I I didn't even know that was a problem or an issue. But anytime I see a dad dealing with his son, it can be in a good way or a bad way, I would
Right.
be in tears. And I realized that that's something that we actually needed. So does that control now the way you want to be in your son's life?
Absolutely. Like, you know, like I said, man, I wish I had my dad around for the most vital times in my life. You know what I'm saying? As far as birthdays, you know, when I first picked up that basketball at 6 years old. Well, I was playing earlier than that, but like I really, really was good at 6 years old. And I just wish like he was around to be like support me, like go son, you know, because I didn't have that with either my mom or my dad when it came to sports. They really didn't support anything, and it's just me telling the truth. You know what I mean? I love my mama to death, but you know I have to be real. Like, you know, I just wish I had that support from both parents. You know, just growing up, you know, I didn't have that, and I think, but I'm glad. Like I said, like I was telling y'all before, I'm glad my mom raised me because my dad, he wasn't the best of people. You know, he was. I'm keeping it real. My dad was a male chauvinist. You know, my dad did my mom bogus. You know, he did his thing, he left, and then he got with my little brother, mom. You know, after he did that to my mom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that I got my mama ways with my daddy ways. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'll just be a bad person. I'll be a player, you know, or, you know, things of that nature. My mom was always had one person, you know, I always said I seen a steady face. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see multiple different people, you know.
So describe for us a moment where you felt that feeling of loneliness.
Man, I have that often sometimes, you know.
Can you remember a specific time within your house where you first felt that feeling of loneliness?
Man, basketball games. You know, this. You know, when I talk about this stuff, it, you know, it bring back memories of hurt, man, and you know, I just remember, you know, other people, parents, and other people cheering for me, and my mom or my dad or nobody was there. You know, I look in the crowd and I see other people cheering for me, then I would want my family to cheer for me.
How would you get to these basketball games if your parents weren't there to?
Team. I mean, they have team buses. You know, I hoop with some of my peoples. You know, I was big in church when I was growing up, so my church family would take me. You know, things of that nature. I always had like mentors as far as like, you know, quote unquote, like hood mentors, people where I'm from who didn't want to see me, you know, do other things, supported me, you know, hey, what you need? You know, you need this, you need some shoes, or you need this. You know, a lot of people was around because, you know, of the talent, you know, but like I said, they had team buses, like school buses. I can catch a ride with my friend, something like that. You know, because, you know, like I said, moms and them, they didn't go to basketball games. You know, my mom probably been to out of probably 3,000-4,000 games I done played in my life. Mom's probably been to like 3.
Do you feel like that changes the way she feels about you? Because she didn't come to the games?
I mean, in a sense, man, because I feel like as a parent, you support your kids' dreams, no matter what it is. You know, if you want to play soccer, you want to play baseball. If you want me to be there, I'm going to be there. You know, if I want to be there, there's nothing. I feel like there's nothing too important than supporting your kids, because I feel like it's beneficial because it can either steer them in the right or the wrong direction.
So my question to you is, when your mom was not at those games, was she at work? Was that something that was keeping?
I mean, most of the time, sometimes yeah, but sometimes no. You know what I'm saying?
But when you think of when you think about the fact that when you think about the fact that when you think about the fact that your mom was a single parent raising you and your brother,
mm-hmm.
and that when she wasn't at the game, sometimes it was because she was working to take care of you and your brother. Does that soften the hurt that you feel inside even a little bit? Like, are you able to empathize with her situation at all?
In the earlier years, you know, six on up, you know, to like 12, 11. But after that, you know, my mom's was pretty much at home. You know, she worked, but she was at home during the time I have games. So I would always ask, hey, Mom, you coming to my game? Or, you know, nah, I ain't coming. No, I ain't coming. I ain't coming. And, you know, that's pretty much all I heard, you know. And then when my grandma was like, she come to the game, then that's when my mom came. So my grandma, like I said, they only been to like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 games in my life, like 1 or 2 or 3. That's all I can think of. My dad just recently, my dad came to one of my senior year basketball games and a charity game 2 years ago.
I kind of feel as though like some people show their support in different ways. And my mom was very much into allowing us to do certain things. So if my mom allowed me to compete with acting, I saw that support and she didn't have to be there. I know my mom had a lot to do. And then sometimes, even if she was free during that time, maybe she was trying to catch her breath. You know, maybe she's trying to let me rest and relax, because once this game over, I'm on again, you know? I gotta make sure Devon good and what the name, Jackson, your brother Jackson.
Bro, you ain't not hear no damn Jackson, bro. The hell, my brother gonna get your ass when he hear this too.
What is his name, man?
Derek.
Derek.
This nigga said Jackson.
Jackson.
You think about Action Jackson out there. What you think about, bro?
Yeah. Because I realized growing up, sometimes we'll see that as not being support, but then when you think about it, they support it in a whole nother way that we didn't think about.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just hurt though, you know, it
don't take the hurt away at all.
It's hurt, and it's embarrassing to have other people, parents, walk you down your senior year. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bring you on the court. Somebody else's parents bring you on the court. I'll never forget that. You know, I'll never forget, you know, championship games. I mean, I'm 36 years old now. And you know, I'm trying to forgive, but when people, I'm not speaking of my mom, me and my mom, that, like I said, my mom, my best friend, but my main anger is from my dad. That's where my anger is.
Oh, your anger. I thought you said anger. Let me tell you something. I know I was in acting class and I messed around and had got a C on my progress report. And I had a competition that weekend and my mama snatched my ass out that thing. You can't go because you need to pull this C up. That hurt me so bad. But as an adult, I understand. I don't care about your acting. I care about your grades. You know?
Yeah, my mom stayed on me, man. She was the reason why, you know what I'm saying? I had to keep my grades. I kept my grades, decent enough to, graduate middle school, high school, and make it to college and stuff a couple years. But as I said, the depression, a lot of depression and, certain things kicked in.
Right. I was gonna ask you about that because I see that
Yeah.
you were suicidal at one point. So like
Multiple times.
how many times did you attempt suicide?
Thought wise, it crept in a few times, but like attempted like once.
Okay. And
Mhm.
what did you do?
Well, this was during the time after high school. I had went to well, let me speak on high school. So I went from being in middle school, going into high school, one of the top basketball players in my city, right? So going into to high school, you know, um, my best friend, one of my good close best friends, shot himself in the head, right? So that right there started a domino effect. Like it was death after death after death after death. So right there, when you lose somebody close and people you grew up with, people you used to flip on mattresses with, things of that nature, who know you, you start to think in bad ways, and that's where the suicidal thoughts kicked in. But it happened because I don't like to scheme and then move forward. I just want to touch on bases to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? So, once that happened, then I went to college. My grades kind of slipped my senior year because, I already knew I was graduating. So I was like, man, I ain't worried about this. So then, I took my ACT, boom, 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 got into college. And then I remember the day I was talking to can we talk about this? Or, because this is some truth. I don't want other people to get, like mad or something. But okay, cool. So it was a girl named, I'm gonna say C.
Oh, you ain't gotta say the name, brother.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say C. Merceberg, and it was a white girl. We was real cool. In college, we played ball and things of that nature. And one night, I just wanted her, I just wanted her to, because I'm a loving person, so I just wanted to know if she felt the same way, right? So then I found out my grandma, had diabetes, so she was on dialysis when I was in school. She lived with us during high school, so that was on deep on my mind. And then going through this with her, I was like, man, so one day I'm in the living room and I was like, man, I don't want to be here no more. You know what I'm saying? I was just in the living room. I was like, I don't want to be here. So I had alcohol or whatever, and I had pills. And I think I popped maybe 4 or 5 or I think about 4 or 5. I think about 4 or 5, and I drank the alcohol with it. So then,
oh yeah, you didn't know what you was doing. That's why you still here, brother. Thank the Lord.
So long story short, so I'm in the living room. I'm foaming from the mouth, and Brandon, which is Brandon Watkins, shout out to my brother, man. He came in and saw me, foaming. So, he, boom, 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 got me right or whatever. And like, he was scared, of course everybody be scared, he like, what you doing, man? What you doing? He's like, what you doing? Da, da, da. I'm like, man, I just don't want to be here no more. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I attempted suicide. I was in college. My mom don't even know about this stuff, so it's a lot my mom don't know about. You know, I almost died when I was 8. You know,
How your mama don't know you almost died when you was 8 now?
because I didn't want the ambulance to tell my mama what happened. You know what I'm saying? I almost drowned. I told Courtney knows. I almost drowned when I was a kid. So I was probably like 2 or 3 seconds from dying. If that lifeguard didn't jump in and get me because like when he got me, like I was blue. I had a whole bunch of water in my stomach. They had to pump all that water out because I gave up. You know, I jumped from the diving board trying to be cool. I was like, man, because I was the dude in the neighborhood who can flip. So I got on 12 feet diving board. You know how in the Olympics, they get on the diving board and they do their little bounce. I thought I was so cool. So I hit the flip, fell in the water, and never came back up. I was kicking, and then I just gave up. So not only I almost died once, I almost died twice. So.
So what exactly happened? I still don't know what exactly happened that made you think that death was like the only option. Because I heard you talk about dating someone.
My grandma, man. Like I said, my grandma, that was just a lot to deal with, man. I was close to my grandma. My grandma lived with us throughout high school. So I would see my grandma, on dialysis, man, and that hurt me, man. Seeing your grandma perishing, man, that's a tough thing. And I saw my grandma die. So, you know what I mean? Me and my mom both, and my grandma, God rest her soul, she held on until we made it there. And as soon as we got to the hospital, she died. Yeah. And that traumatized me. Like, so I still see it.
You dealing with death and knowing how it affects you. If you were to commit suicide, you're not really thinking about how like you're in such a place that the way your death will affect.
At that time, I didn't feel like nobody cared. Going through what I went through, high school, not doing this, I just feel like didn't nobody care. Honestly, that's just my honest opinion, man. I just feel like didn't nobody care at that time.
What would make you think that no one cared?
I didn't get no support, the support I needed.
Because they didn't go to the basketball games, or?
I mean, just period. You know what I mean? I mean, basketball is a major part of my life. You know what I'm saying? You have to understand, like, that this basketball is my life.
No, so, I understand that. We all have the things that kind of consume us.
Like poetry for you is your life, spoken word, and all that stuff. That's a part of you. And if people don't support you.
But with me, we're two different people, because with me, if my mama don't show up to my shows, I don't think that she's not supporting me, because I feel like she supports me beyond the shows. And when she shows up, I'm pleasantly, like, I'm happy and I'm surprised and I'm glad that she's there. But if she told me, yo, I ain't gonna be able to come, it doesn't make me feel like, oh, she don't want to be here.
I think what the difference is that, the way that you described it is basketball is my life. With Black Bluez, poetry is a part of his life. It's not his entire life. So when you describe basketball as being your life, when someone doesn't show up for it, it's like they're not showing up in your life at all, because you've associated that with being your entire life. So if someone doesn't show up, it's like they're not showing up in your life. And I think that's what he's trying to say. Like, there needs to be like a happy medium there. Like even if the person doesn't show up to the game that you consider to be your life, it doesn't mean that they're not showing up in your life, because they're more than likely supporting you in a way that's different. But if you can't see that,
No, I
then
don't see it at
you'll
all. That's what I'm
always
trying to tell you. This is when I say this is my truth, I'm speaking the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is how I feel. Y'all two was raised different. Me,
No, understand.
I don't think that really has anything to do with like the way that I'm speaking of it right now. It doesn't have anything to do with how we were raised.
I'm saying environments though.
Because
I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is, I get what y'all both saying, but how I'm saying it is how it is.
Yeah,
but
that's
the
all.
thing is that even if it was, I understand that you feel like that was in your life in the beginning. If you think about your childhood and you equate basketball being your life when you were a child, or in general, and when your parents were the most important people in your life, and you felt like they didn't show up and they weren't there for you to participate in something that you consider to be your life, and that hurt you and it made you feel some kind of way. But if you take that on all the way up through adulthood, when someone doesn't show up for you at a basketball game and basketball is your life, then you will feel that same way towards other people who weren't even there growing up. You know what I'm saying? And they more than likely can't be there all the time. So it's like you almost have to kind of adjust.
But even if they didn't show to every game, okay, I get that. But the important things that I need them there for, they should be there.
So you feel like your parents weren't just they didn't just abandon you when it came to basketball games. It was in other areas of your life, which made you feel alone, which made you.
I'm specifically like, I can't say my mom, you know what I'm saying? My mom, like I said, this is exclude my mom, a majority of my mom. I'm speaking of my father in general. In general, my mom did what she could. I get that part. My biggest thing is I wanted her to support me more in what I wanted to do and not what she wanted me to do.
And do you think that you feel the same way as an adult now? You feel the same way about that situation that you felt as a child?
I feel the same way. I feel like I wouldn't have had so many bumps in the road if I had that love and that attention from both people.
Right. So, because what I'm trying to figure out, that's why I keep asking, and what you said, if you feel a certain way, that's absolutely valid. Like, we're not saying what you're saying is wrong. Well, I'm trying to figure out is the growth. Like, how did you get from feeling that way? And I was trying to decipher the difference between how you felt then.
Mm-hmm.
Versus how you feel now.
Yeah, we telling the story how you felt then, or are those feelings still very much alive today?
No, I mean, I kind of like buried a majority of it. You know what I'm saying? I forgave my mom. You know, my mom did a lot, man. She did a majority, okay? But I tried to mend the relationship with my father. Even now, I'm still trying to. But he is repeating the cycle. He is stuck in this way to where he want me to respect him, but he don't respect me. Meaning, it's not about me like that no more. I'm 36 years old. It's about DJ. Okay? He has no relationship with his grandson. He's 6 years old. I said, hey,
What do you think that you can do?
I did all I could do. I'm doing all I can do. I'm giving him an opportunity to be a part of his life. Hey, come on down here and see your grandkids. Oh, you need, he'd be like, well, buy me a ticket.
Oh,
I
because
feel like,
your
I feel
dad
like,
live here.
huh?
Your dad doesn't live in the same city.
No, my dad lives in Milwaukee. My dad is, all my people is in Milwaukee, except for my mom. So I'm down here by myself. So imagine being in Houston 11 years. I've been here 11 years with no family. Okay. I made it in Houston 11 years. I made it in Compton, California 2 years. I've been to every city that you could think of and made it because I'm mentally and physically, I'm tough. It's my upbringing. So with me and my mom down here, it's like my mom got her own life. So this is where the loneliness kicking in at. You know what I'm saying? Because I just feel like most of my family is dead. So this is why I enjoy being around, other people, because I'm a family oriented person and I can't function without family and love. I can't function.
Right. Well, I would like to think that when it comes down to it, I didn't like the distance is probably a thing because I'm gonna tell you in my 30 years of my life, I've only been on an airplane 3 or 4 times. So I can relate to not traveling a lot like that. Would you be willing to just take the biggest step and say, hey, let me take DJ to
DJ met my dad already. DJ met Junior. DJ met my pops when he was 2. I took him. We went on a road trip for a funeral.
So
And
I guess the question would be, what is it that in a perfect world, what would that relationship look like between your dad and your son? And have
probably
you
like ours was when his age.
have you done everything to make sure that that's possible on your end?
Everything, 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 man. And he just like, okay, we keeping it real. I talked to my dad a few days ago. First thing come out of his mouth, not that I need it, but first thing come out of his mouth, hey man, I'm gonna send you some money for DJ. Get him a few things. Right? And you know what I think? That's the same thing I heard when I was a kid. When I was junior age, my dad definition of spending time was to take me to the dog track and watch him gamble and lose thousands and thousands of dollars every weekend. Every weekend he'll pick me up. Hey, I'm picking you up, son. I'd be so excited. Yeah, I'm finna kick it with my dad. Yeah. Guess where we going? To the dog track.
Who
To
is?
watch. Sorry, man, the fire alarm. But that was his definition of spending time.
Okay, quick question, because I want to really dig into this thing with your dad. It seems like it's actually something that is being overlooked, that is actually a big part of who you are. And I want to just pose a question, and you might get mad at me when I say it, but you kind of complained about what your dad considered spending time with you was, but then you're upset with other people for not spending time at your game with you, which is probably not something they wanted to do. But you still love your dad, right? Regardless of the fact that he at the dog track.
I mean, I'm 6 years old at that time, bro. Of course, I love my dad then. I mean, I mean, I mean, that's innocent years. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I want to just be with my dad. You know what I'm saying? I
Right, but
want to do fun things.
do you think in your dad's head that was?
No, I just think like that was his way of like having me around and doing what he wanted to do, not what he should have done with his kids. Take me for ice cream, take me this way. His definition of spending time was to gamble.
But understand that that's his definition. Our parents aren't perfect as we're not perfect. And I want you to think of his intent when he did that. Because he could have been like my daddy and just not came and got you. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it was times. I looked
Like,
out the window and he didn't pick me up. It was times.
oh no, I'm talking about at all. We didn't have them times, you know. It's very, I can count on 2 fingers how many times my dad just on his own got me and took me somewhere without being forced to do it. So me listening to you and being in that predicament growing up without my dad in my house, it sounds like I don't care. I would have went, you know, because I didn't have that. And so listening to you say, you know, he came and got you, I'm like, well, dang, that's better than what mine did. Not that it changes the way you feel about it. Like I say, I just want you to think of his intent when he was coming to get you was not
Well,
let me get him so I can piss him.
my mom will tell you the same thing. You know what I'm saying? My mom will told me stories about him that make me feel a certain way as well. So that time is pretty much eliminated for the things he put my mama through. You know,
Right.
so at the end of the day, you know, I can't say something positive about a situation that wasn't positive to me.
Right. And I'm not asking you
But
to. I'm
this
asking
is the thing.
to
This is
try to.
the thing. I'm sorry. This
I
is
was.
the thing.
Go ahead.
This is the thing. He showed the love to my little brother and do things with my little brother growing up that he didn't ever do for me. Even at this age now, they hang out, do all kinds of things together. We
Do
never
you
did.
think? Do you believe that it's that to an extent he has some guilt there where he wasn't there for you, so now he has your brother, and it's like, let me make up for what I didn't do for my first child, or
And
you know what I'm saying? Because
it would be without. It would be without guilt because he got to start fresh and new.
right, because the fact of the matter is that, you know, when you think about it, you can't go backwards. So it's like, get to a point where it's like, you know, he can't really make what he didn't do in your past. All he can do is try to be better within the future. And so here he is with your brother, and it's a blank slate. And it's like, yeah, I can do good over here, but let me do the best that I can over here. And to in some extent make up for what I didn't do in the first place. Do you think that that's a possibility of what, you know, of the reasoning why, you know, he does have a relationship with your brother and it may seem to be better than the one that he has with you?
I couldn't even tell you. I don't. I mean, I love my little brother, so you know I don't have no. You know what I'm saying? Ill feelings to my little brother. I love my little brother. You know, I was pretty much, you know, the person who watched over him growing up as a kid. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I think in this situation, it's one of those things where he is definitely innocent in the predicament. So it's not necessarily how you feel about him, but more about how you feel about your father's reaction and how he's, you know,
I mean, that
because
could
it
be.
seems like you may feel like he treats your brother differently than what he treats you.
I mean, that could be a possibility. You know what I mean? That he's trying to correct the situation, but at the end of the day, you have to see it from my perspective and my lens. You know, my little brother has a baby now. You know what I'm saying? My little brother I have a nephew. And at this point, you know, I see him be around more again than he is over here with my son. So until he corrects the situation and realizes that he has 2 grandkids and 2 sons, this situation ain't gonna never get any better. I'm the one who's being the bigger person by calling, forgiving him, things of that nature.
I mean, but have you truly forgiven him though? You can say
I've forgiven him, but he's not making it better by repeating the cycle. So that, I mean, it's kind of like what you said earlier. Yeah, it's in a sense Indian giving, in a sense.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
In a sense.
That was a derogatory term.
But I'm just saying.
I take it back, her.
I'm taking it back.
Take her back, yes. A renege.
Reneging.
Oh no, reneging bad.
No.
But I mean, I won't like, my dad is not getting any younger, man. My dad is pushing 70. And you know, if he passed, will it hurt me? Oh, most definitely. Because Courtney had an opportunity to meet my dad. And being my dad is like talking to me. You know, personality, all that nature. I'm not saying he a bad. I love my dad. Let's just throw this out there.
Of course.
I love my dad. You know, when he's on, he's on. We're great. But when he fall off and expect me, you know, he can't never say I was a bad son. You know what I'm saying? He can't say that.
But
through it all, I still was there for him.
Because I mean, as ourselves, we can say how great we are, but sometimes we don't realize the foul stuff that we do to other people. You know, people have called me a horrible friend before, and I'm like, baby, I'm the best friend on this side of the Mississippi. Your old ugly self. Oh, I'm sorry. So,
I don't even think we touched the topic of another topic that y'all had.
We got you, brother. We driving this car. You just go along for the ride. So, I want to come out of the past because that's really what we're talking about right now is the past. And the reason why we kind of got stuck there because I was trying to see how much of that have you evolved from, or how much of that are you still holding on to?
Yeah, because ultimately, like just listening, it seemed like a lot of it you are still holding on to. I think you have the desire to let it go and to move forward. I just don't know what tools you need to like fully like, you know, it's like you know, we're gonna use the bag lady as a reference. You know, you got all these bags on you from your past, things that hurt you, things that made you feel lonely. And it's like you're trying to resolve them, but it's like it's some tool that is missing to help you just completely get over and say, you know what, I'm letting it go. Putting it down. I'm moving forward. I'm not letting it bother me no more. I'm gonna keep on going. And I just don't know what that is. And I think that's why we've been stuck on this specific topic for so long, because I guess we want to kind of, I think we both trying to, hoping that you would see it from a different perspective other than
before we start talking about the future, because, or the current, because it's hard to talk about the current if in a sense your past is still your current.
It's still, yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like the thing is, if you could just erase it and let everything go and everything be good, then you'll be very happy with that. But the process is a little different, that you have to kind of work through it. Because I feel like you could say today, forget all that stuff, we good, let's move forward, you would do that. But the problem is it's going to keep coming back at you because it's not fully resolved.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel. So we're gonna jump to current.
Yes.
We can try to figure it out. So currently, you said we asked for 3 words that describe you currently. You said that you were fun, which Webster describes it as loving, enjoying life in a lively, light-hearted way, or playful. I don't know. I have another word, but I can't read my handwriting. And
He
then,
said fun loving. He's fun loving.
oh,
Like
he's
he has
fun-loving.
fun loving spirit. Yeah.
Oh, so you fun-loving.
Fun
You
loving.
for life. Okay, well, the same thing. I got the same definition for that too. Praise be to glory be to God. So also you said you were loyal, which means you're faithful to any leader, party, or cause, or to any person or thing, as long as it's deserving fidelity. And you also said that you were a survivor. You gonna make it. You thought I wouldn't sell without you. We sold millions. What?
Oh, okay.
That's
He
the
just,
definition. I mean,
yeah.
that's the child's definition of a survivor.
Nice.
Survivor, according to Beyonce, Kelly, and Michelle.
You dumb. So with all of that being said, do you feel that being lively in the life of the party is like a coping mechanism for feeling the loneliness and feeling suicidal?
I think being, having a personality and being fun loving helps me cope with depression, or help me get over thinking of all the um, consistent and multiple deaths that keeps occurring. I
So
think I have to be upbeat. I think I have to, because if I don't, like I just down myself within the devil's potion, or or just have crazy thoughts.
Bro, that actually makes me understand you a lot more. Just that you just said, that makes me understand you and how you move a lot more. So that I can feel that. I mean, and you don't want to go back to that situation. You don't want to go back to that spot, that depression, that loneliness, that suicidal thought. So you like, hey, if I'm life, then ain't no thinking about death.
I just think like everything that I've endured, I just feel like I'm fully functional if I can make others laugh or make others happy, because it helps me be happy.
Mhm.
Because I feel like if I can't be me, if I just can't be myself, then I just don't want to be myself, if that makes sense.
Right.
Meaning, like, I just don't want to, I just feel like I beat death multiple times. I've been in situations, bad situations. I feel like I'm here for a reason, but I have to be who I am. I got to be true to myself. When people say, "Oh yeah, he too goofy," or "he too this," well, that's just who I am. I can only be me, and I just feel like if I'm not upbeat, even playing sports, if I can't be the happy-go-lucky dude on the basketball court, I am no good.
Right. So what can you say is like what caused you to take that 360 in your life from being that depressed and lonely and down to like at what point did you say, let me just live life and like what attributed to that?
Man, there's so many things I don't want to go back, but
I mean, just tell us whatever it
just
is.
just 3 things. The death really of the death of my best friend kind of put you know, my life into perspective. The birth of my son, Junior being a preemie, really put me in a better headspace, because I had to be mentally strong. I couldn't be depressed. I couldn't be none of this. I had to be locked in. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, meeting Courtney. You know what I mean? You know, situational stuff. You know, that I have to be strong, because, you know, she is very strong. So, I mean, from what she's endured and what she's been through, you know, I mean, I can't complain too much. So it's just a blessing to have, you know, been through what I've been through with my son, you know, him being 23 weeks, you know, doctor saying that he wasn't going to make it. He wasn't going to walk. He wasn't going to talk. He will have to have a trach in his neck. They don't know if he's going to make it 72 hours, you know, to my son being 6 years old. My son, Junior clocked out multiple times in the hospital. Like, machines going crazy, and he come back. Check out, come back. I seen multiple babies die in that hospital in the same room as my son. You know, I was there. You know, so that's why I say I've seen so much. I just feel like being with Courtney, you know, she's, you know, H-Town, you know, she's tough, but you know, that I consider her my best friend. So,
Well,
I mean,
you don't know Courtney from Cedar Gas.
I'm not from City Gas.
I mean, you know, she let me be me. You know what I'm saying? She let me.
I have a question though about do you kind of feel like DJ was your saving grace though?
He was.
Yeah, and DJ was sent to you because God had to show you how strong you are, and that you are that person that can handle this and take care of this. And then if you think about it in the same aspect, your fiance being sent to you, God is trying to tell you, bro, look at the strong person that you are, and I know that you can handle this.
Because, you know, not to get all spiritual on y'all, but, you know, the Bible does say that God put on you there. And, you know, people seem to think that if they are Christians and that if they worship God and all of that, that they are exempt from things happening to them. And the majority of the time, it's those people who are sacrificing their lives, who are worshiping God, who actually go through the most. If you think about Job, you know, he went through so many different things within the Bible, and God was putting those things on him. But at the day, he reaped all of that suffering that he went through. So when you kind of change your mindset and start to think like that, that stuff will come to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, I'm not a biological parent, but children are a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like DJ coming into your life, that was a blessing. That was a wake up call. Especially when you've been affected the way that you affected by death. For you to be in a hospital, for you to see your son almost lose his life multiple times, but survive that, and then still be here with you, for you to nurture and take care, because he can't do it himself. So now you have this ability upon you to take care of and nurture someone, and that gives you a reason to be here on this earth. Do you feel that way, or am I just projecting something on you?
No, I feel like he changed me in many ways, man. You know, I feel like when he around and just being around him, like he teaches me patience, man. He teaches me like, you know, how to love him the right way. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people out here who don't have patience with kids, especially kids who are autistic. It takes a special type of love to provide to the kid, you know. So I'm glad I am his father and he's my son, because he teaching me how to be a great father, how to step up more and give him the things that I wanted, but give it to him more, you know. So
Because you get a chance to correct the things that you didn't like growing up.
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of things that I wish I can go back and flip a switch, you know, like some of my closest friends, you know, I wish I could hit that switch, you know, and bring them back. But, you know, I just live through my son right now. I mean, he the reason why I'm here. I feel like maybe if he wasn't here, I probably wouldn't be on this video. And that's just me being honest, you know. You know, I feel like if that would have happened, like I would have like completely mentally checked out. Like, and then, you know, prayers to God, you know, I pray every day. You know, my mom is going through some things, and this is going to teach me how to be tough again. You know what I mean? To see my son go through that, and now have to see my mom go through something. This going to be like a test for me. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right.
Lord knows, I
That's
don't think
I was saying, ain't that like life, to give you tools as you go along for stuff that you don't even know that you're gonna need it for.
Yeah,
And you gotta pay attention to those tools that you were handed. You may not understand why this happened like this and why
exactly.
this person acts like this, but it's actually tools that you need as you go through life. Because then you're like, oh, boom, I know how to handle this. Oh, I remember that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you think about, okay, um, my parents were these types of parents, and you like, I didn't like how they did this, or I didn't like how they did that. Now you have a child, so you ultimately you are raising him, you are guiding him. So you have the choice to say, what my parents were, I don't have to be that. Those bad things, those bad characteristics they had, I don't have to have those characteristics when it comes to my child. Those good ones, I can take those and I can enhance them and make them better than what my parents were. So you get that chance to.
Well, I would say parents. I really say parent. You know, like I said, my
No,
mom.
no,
You know,
it's really parents, because even if your dad was not there,
uh,
he taught you how to be there for your child.
yeah,
So you still learned something from him. His absence was a lesson, because now you have a son, and you know in your heart how you felt when your father was not there for you. So if you want to be the best father that you can be, you know now, I got to be in my son's life. I got to be there for him. Whatever he needs, I got to be there. I got to give that to him. Whatever I didn't have, whatever my daddy didn't give me, I got to do that. And just what you saying, you know, oh, my dad thought that taking me to the racetrack and spending time with me there, he thought that was spending time. Well, if you think about how you spend time with your son, you do stuff that he like. You like, he loved Chuck E. Cheese, you at Chuck E. Cheese. He liked to play video games, you play in the video games. You know he liked to be with his certain little friends. You make sure that he can be with his friends. So you're consciously making decisions to do certain things for your son that you didn't necessarily get for yourself. So with
yeah.
that being said, let's move forward. um, let's talk about your loyalty. You said you were loyal. you know, most people describe themselves as being loyal. No one says I'm disloyal. You know, what is something? What are some things that make you loyal?
I'm loyal to my city, loyal to where I'm from. I never always rep where I'm from. I'm loyal to the people that I grew up with that's still here. I'm loyal. I've had friends 20 plus years. You know, I never turn my back on them. Whenever they need me, I'm there.
But what makes you that way, though?
Well, I have a big heart. I mean, my heart makes me that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to say no. You know, I've heard no. I've heard no so many times. Like, my no is yes.
Are you a to give people what you want in return? Is that where the loyalty comes from?
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point of loyalty and friendship, is to be loyal to people who you expect the same thing from. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's a give or take thing. You know.
Do you think you can be loyal and say no?
In my case, I always say no. I ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna do this, but I always do it. You know, it's just me, man. It's just a characteristic of me that, you know, sometimes I say no, you know, but then I turn around and double back and do the same thing I said no for.
But saying no, I don't think it's disloyal. Cause I mean, I didn't tell that's my best friend almost 20 years, and I didn't told her no, and she didn't told me no, but I didn't question her loyalty in the
No.
no.
I see what you're saying. No, not like that. Not like that. I wouldn't say it like that, but
Sometimes you need a no.
Yeah.
She doing it. You need a no sometimes. Give me my no.
Yeah, no, it's necessary.
You know? What are some steps that you intend to take to remain consistent in your truth or in who you are?
continue my faith. You know, always having that spirituality side. Um, standing grounded in my roots. Never forget where I come from. My relationship, and my son.
All right.
So
Yep.
what would your current self tell your childhood self?
That's a good question. Let go.
Yay. That's good.
Yeah.
Giving birth.
Giving birth. Giving birth.
Oh my God. Do you realize how you just gave birth right there? Like that came on out.
Yeah.
We had to give you an epidural for that one, but it came on out. That was a good answer, babe.
Yeah. Yeah. So we traveled down that road. We want to say thank you to everybody who watched the Birth and Truth podcast. Social media info. Devon, what's your social media, brother?
Uh, that's a good question. Devon and Courtney Johnson. And Instagram, I think it's Milwaukee Legend, at Milwaukee Legend. I might be wrong, but you know, you can catch me like good old Devon and Courtney Johnson.
On Facebook.
Yes.
I am Pushing Pretty on Instagram and Facebook. and YouTube, and the Courtney Elaine brand on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Dang, y'all got everything. I
Catch
got
us,
Facebook.
the Birth and Truth podcast on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube.
She got plenty.
I am Black Bluez on Instagram. So I am Black Bluez on Instagram. I'm Vincent Johnson. It's my personal page on Facebook. My artist page is Black Bluez. I promise you, if you type in Black Bluez on any social media platform, it's gonna pull up my pages. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm Googleable.
Googleable. Nice.
Googleable. Googleable. Well, thank you, guys. Thank you for listening to the Birthing Truth podcast, and stay tuned for episode number
6. I can't. Is this right?
Is it 6? What?
But yeah, 6.
I just like to thank y'all for letting me come to y'all platform. This has been a long time in the making. You know what I'm saying? We covered a lot of stuff. Hopefully that y'all feel a little bit different. Give you a more insight and perspective of me as a person. Maybe it won't, who knows? But I just want to.
You feel a little bit different because this is about you birthing your truth.
I appreciate y'all letting me come on y'all platform to let me discuss some things that I hold inside. I appreciate y'all for this wonderful, monumental moment. Shout out to Birthing the Truth. Birthing the Truth. I got my own mug, and thank y'all again. Appreciate y'all. Humbly speaking.
Stay tuned for episode 6 coming at y'all.
Bye.
What you want to say?
4-1.